Welcome back to the Commercial Real Estate Show. I'm Michael Bull. Thanks for being with us. Today we're talking about design and construction techniques, and my guests are Lamar Wakefield with Wakefield Beasley and Millard Choate and Todd Barrett with Choate Construction. And guys, there's some new devices out there in construction today and design, right? What are some of the new techniques, some of the new tools that are being used in construction today that are making a difference?
I would say that one of the biggest things we're seeing is the use of BIM, building information modeling. As these tools initially started kind of in the design side, and now as general contractors are kind of embracing them and starting to use them more for collaboration early on through all stages of the project.
So for the guy that's driving down the road, he turned the channel and he's not in construction or design, right, or maybe in commercial real estate, tell him what BIM is.
So BIM in its essence, a BIM is a model in its essence. It's just a representation of a project, but it's also a process at the same time. It's in the old days, drawing on paper was lines and things that represented walls and doors. Well, now we're actually modeling those. Those objects are in 3D, and they know how thick they are, they know how big they are, they know how much they weigh, and how much they cost. So we're able to leverage that on the general construction side for doing everything from quantification, understanding the pricing of a building, being able to quickly analyze changes or potential value engineering of a project, and so that type of assessment. And then later on, further being able to use all of that information that we're collecting as we design, as Lamar and his group are designing, we start building. As more information is determined and decided, we're starting to create, a really strong database that can be used after the project's turned over. So the owners are starting to see this as a really good asset for facility management and managing those buildings and maintaining them. So
is it similar to CAD? What's the differences?
So really, the difference CAD was replicating, 2D drawing on paper, taking it to a computer, drawing lines in a computer, where BIM is actually creating, we're essentially building the building in the computer before we build it on the construction site and designing it.
BIM is a 3D. BIM is a basic picture, a holograph of exactitudes of every component, every door, every structural system is designed to the nth degree. Nice. For example, we had to model, we call it, certain projects. We did a major imaging research project at Chapel Hill. We could not have built that building without modeling it, because 8 feet above the plenum was packed with every system, pipe, conduit, radiology known to man, and it was critical to get it coordinated. So it's BIM is changing our industry. We're becoming more and more integrated with the design side. Mm-hmm. We'll work and collaborate their models, our structural engineers' models with our subcontractors' models, plumbing, electrical, everything, and it's becoming integrated. It's going from even 3D, we call it 5D, the physical dimensions coupled with cost and schedule on top of it. So it ranges all the way from BIM. BIM was a well-worn term that really was used more for marketing at one time. True integrated project delivery is where the teams work together in concert, designing as the architect is designing, the contractor is also being able to put in cost input and time schedule input. And it's really changing how we do things. For example, we can analyze for labor savings as we go through these analyses. The biggest impact in our industry in the last recession was labor. We lost a lot of mechanics. Anything that we can do to help facilitates the cost. For example, we're able to now use BIM modeling to do modeling assemblies, which means we can prefabricate major components of the building, such as the skin system, in a quality controlled factory, bring it to the site, hoist it in place, and be done. Speed, labor savings, and quality. They're key to us. And the modeling also, then the model can be fed into what's called a robotic total station. And that device will lay out every point in space, every door, every anchor bolt, anything, the corners, the slab recessions, depressions, etc. And it's taking that virtual holograph of a building and putting it in physical locations. We did a high-rise, for example, in Nashville. We laid out every sleeve in the project, 7,400 sleeves. 3 of them were off less than 3/8 of an inch.
Wow.
So it's nearly perfect. So I'm obviously get pretty pumped up about where we're headed with this whole thing.
Yeah. So the conflicts of one system not working because the other system's there is almost gone. I mean, it seems like whenever I've only built simple things like houses or renovated apartment complexes and stuff, but it seems like you come in and do the HVAC and the plumbing's in the way.
The
or
conflict
the-
resolution
Conflict.
is absolutely resolved.
Yeah.
As well as, I think, estimating, because the quantities are absolutely perfect. We're not estimating it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Finding a lot of those things, we like to say, finding those surprises before they become bigger surprises. We're able to. It's a lot easier to resolve them earlier on. The cost impact for making a change is drastically reduced the sooner you catch it. Before it's the guys on the site looking at it and they're scratching their heads trying to figure out what to do.
And if you're watching this on YouTube, you're seeing some images of this BIM and some of these products. And if you're listening on one of the radio stations, check out the show website, CREshow.com, and we'll have some images here you can look at. Don't do it while you're driving, though. So is BIM also useful in the design phase as well, so the occupier can kind of visualize what they're going to get?
That's where we start initially, is showing the 3D model of the office building or the mixed-use product or the retail store, and we can move it around for them to look at every angle, whether you're walking up or driving up or flying over it, and they can, really, we can adjust our proportions based on those comments that those people might have, depending on what kind of brand they're interested in providing for the project.
It's interesting. We're starting to see some of the technology from the gaming industry even start to come into our industry now, where between virtual reality goggles and things, where people can actually get in and be immersed inside that space, which for critical spaces like operating rooms and things like that, you can put a physician in that space before it's even built, and really make sure that it's dead on.
Well, one of the things also, if you expand at different levels, 100 to 600. We have been commissioned, for example, to do a facilities maintenance model for this large project at University of North Carolina. And their facilities people will be able to walk in any room virtually, look at every component, see the specification, the model number, the voltage, the CFM of the diffusers, the gas, the mastic used to adhere the flooring system, everything, every color. It's a true virtual building. They'll be able to manage that facility from here on out.
How many of the larger projects are built with BIM today?
We're modeling just about every large project, even internally, just for conflict.
And there's a benefit after the building's occupied, right, for having used BIM? For maintenance and ongoing?
If you go to that level, do a maintenance model is what it's called,
Okay.
a facility maintenance model.
But we just finished a really large municipal facility. It's a $100 million courthouse facility. So at the end of the day, when we hand this guy that's in maintenance that disc, and he wants to be able to, 7 years from now, find out what the model number is for a piece of hardware that went bad or needs to change out a diffuser, the model's in the BIM model.
I need that at my house. I don't know. What wattage is that light bulb supposed to be? I don't know. Well, stay tuned. We'll have more on design and construction. I'm Michael Bull. This is the Commercial Real Estate Show, not the Construction Real Estate Show. We'll be right back. The Commercial Real Estate Show is brought to you by Bull Realty Commercial Advisors, a great place to do business. Visit bullrealty.com. RealNex, a comprehensive and powerful suite of commercial real estate tools at an incredibly low price. Visit realnex.com. That's REALNEX. FIU, Florida International University. Earn your master's in real estate in as little as 10 months without interrupting your career. Visit FIUonline.com. Xceligent, the resource professionals use for commercial real estate information. Visit Xceligent.com. That's XCELIGENT. Commercial Search, the source to market and source available properties for sale or lease. Visit commercialsearch.com. For more information on these great companies or for additional videos, podcasts, or articles, visit CREshow.com.